Friends, I welcome you all to the Creative Thinkers Hub channel. Today we are going to be seeing book designs. So today we shall see how to design a book. Now first we shall see a traditional book, which could be anything from what a children's book would be, or any kind of a novel or that kind of stuff. Okay, so first we are going to be taking an A4 page in landscape. What you do is double click, right, and duplicate this particular page. Now once you have duplicated it, most books are kind of 5 inches by 8 inches. Okay, so this is the size of most books, especially the novels, right? So this is it could be even 6 by 9. So we could work around that. Let's work with our particular desired size, which is our 5 by 8. Now what have I done? Normally this is how any person would kind of make his layout, where he is having text here and text here, and there is this very little space that is there in between. Now we have to understand that most books are not 2 pages or 3 pages in size. Most books are 100 or 200 pages kind of in size, and pagination is done by 24 pages together. So you have to understand that that whole huge sheet, which is going to be probably a 24 by 36 sheet, is going to be multiple folded, and then it's going to be made to a size of 5 by 8. So that has to be kept in mind. So taking that in mind, we always have to keep a safe space over here for folding. Now by default what we do is make it 0.5. okay, let it be half an inch away. So this is how, this is also called our gutter space. So this is the gutter space, and this is going to be our actual activated area. Now what we normally do is that this area also is reduced further by 0.5 inches all throughout for the actual text area. So let's say we make this 5 will become 4 and this will become 7. Why? Because 0.5 up and down makes 1, and left and right again makes 1. So sorry, we have to duplicate this and make it 4 by 7, and again center align this. That same thing we could duplicate and center align here. So this is our actual print area, right? This is just going to be something that we are keeping as a buffer on all sides. So these are our margins. Okay, now there is something that some books have. Okay, some books will have text directly running through, and that's about it. Some don't even bother to keep that what chapter you are on, which book you are reading, which page you are on. Some books don't have that, but some books do have that. So in that scenario what we do, again we duplicate this and give it a 3.5, sorry, this will be 4 only, and this will become 6.5. okay, so what is there in this, that this top area is left for numbering as well as title. So let's say in this particular thing we are going to be copy pasting the book of Pinocchio. Okay, so let's say we give it a name. Right now, as you can see, I have typed it in Arial font. Okay, but the most readable fonts in print are not sans serif. Sans serif is without serif. As you can see, Arial doesn't have a serif. But what we are going to be doing is that we might take, because it's a children's book, we could take Gaudi as our font. So this is a playful font and works well with children. So that is where we are going to be placing our name. Now we don't want it so big because it's a book. It is, so normally books are done anywhere between 10 to 12 point of any font, depending on font type. Now Gaudi itself is quite a broad font, so we shall work, because it's a title again, we shall work with 11 point, right? and just align it to the page. Done. So this is how where our name is going to come. We can yet take this in the center of this line and then duplicate it and again take it to the center of this line and copy it. Make sure that both these are center aligned. Okay, in terms of typing, the reason being that if today I want to use this as my chapter, let's say Pinocchio is the name of the book which is on this side of the page, and on this side I want that I should be using the chapter. For example, creating, or let's use creating a puppet. Okay, so this is our first chapter of Pinocchio, that is he is creating a puppet. Now you have to also make sure that these two are aligned. Okay, they are all aligned in a particular way, they should not be out. Fine, so these two are aligned, and then once we have left this, we could even use our page number coming here. Again we stick to one font, let it be God, and again at the same point size, that is 11 point. And again what we do is that we take this and we have to center align it, because the number of pages, again some people put page numbers here. Okay, so it will be left bottom, so this will not be center aligned, this part will be left aligned, and then when duplicated they will right align it and write the number 2, and that will be bottom and right aligned to this page, as you can see here. So that's your layout. Now we'll remove the upper box, because that's what we want to see things as and how we are doing them. Right now this particular thing is going to be our text boxes. So what are we going to do? We are going to take text boxes which are going to be of this size, right? Move them a little bit, delete this and center align them. Same we do, delete this, duplicate and center align. So what did we do first? The boxes, what is the meaning of the boxes? The boxes were that we were making a layout, we were making our things which have to be positioned in a particular way. So now we know no matter what I type here is going to be center aligned. Whichever number I do here is going to follow this grid and is going to be right aligned, and this one will be left aligned. So it's saying that now let's copy our text. Now this is the story of Pinocchio, which I have taken from stories to growby.org. Okay, so every website has its own twist. Just to showcase to you all, I have taken it from there. We are going to copy the whole story so that we are doing things, and I can showcase to you how we could even extend the text. So that whole story is copied. All I'm going to do is come here, paste it. It's going to ask me this, that do you want me to maintain the fonts and formatting or discard it? We are going to do the discard and let it copy, right? So now do you see that there is this red box that comes here, this triangle, right? First let's do one thing, let's change our font again. We shall work with Garamond as our font type here and make it 10 point, right? As you can see, only the selected part is going to work effectively on this. So depending on how much your selection is, and so you might have to do it here, or else it's always better to do this particular thing in your what we call text itself. So here you come here, Garamond, and make it 10 point. So everything is just the way it is. We keep it to no spacing, and that's how our text is going to be copied. Fine. So this is all my text. Now copy it and come here, and you just need to paste it, discard font. So now we maintain it. right? Because we have already changed it in this, we do not want it coming back in Arial and 12 point, right? So we say maintain the fonts and formatting. We want to connect this text to this. For that, I have to take this as close as possible. Okay, I have to zoom in, come here. You see this arrow that is coming? Once I click on the bottom, this, come here and click. So what happens is that this thing is now a connected box and is a part of the story. Correct? So you see this connector, so it will get connected. Similarly, you make, so this we could just let it be here. Same way, you make another text box which is of the same size, 4 by 6, yeah, for tab 6, sorry, 6.5. Okay, and we come here and we center align it, and this could be our third page. So again, taking this further. Now this is the issue with CorelDraw. Okay, that's the reason why what we do is that instead of using this software for this kind of jobs, we are going to, you see, it will keep copying and pasting on this, and they all are independent of each other. You see, they are all linked. So that way you can keep linking your story. Fine. So taking that into consideration, let's stop this here, because this can go on and on and on. Fine. So now you know how to link pages. You have to zoom in, take that other thing down and slightly click on that arrow till you get another small arrow pointing this way, and then click it on the text box you want to continue. So that's how we are going to be looking at our text. Right now you see the arrow is not coming here, it's complete, it's red because there is connecting text, but they all are complete. Now see here there is an arrow, so there is more text below it. Fine. So that's saying that we stop here on that. Now because it's a children's book, okay, now this is what you could do blindly for a what we call now again for a novel, okay. But in this, let's say that, you know, I want to keep some spacing. So as I press enter, see what happens to the other pages. Okay, you see the text on this one, keep an eye on the text on this one. You will see 1111 line keeps moving ahead. Now why are we doing this? We are purely doing this because we want some readability and some space in the whole thing. Okay, because we don't want a book to fail. We want that, you know, people should enjoy this, and there is something that we call white space. Okay, so that white space is extremely important, without which there will be a problem. Now did you see that, you know, this particular thing, if my friends you all kept an eye on what was happening, this once I press the enter here, this last line went here, and when I press an enter again here, this line moved from this part, you know. So in that particular scenario, what exactly is happening is that this, if you in your word file only, if you have kept these spacings, okay, this might come in this in your there is a possibility it might even come in your CorelDraw file. Now taking that into consideration, what we are going to do, you'll have to keep an eye on each and every paragraph. You just can't keep linking and think that your work is done, right? Now there is something that also, if we keep pressing enter, okay, now let's consider this. Now if you see that we are not going to press enter all around over here, it will take a lot of time. Now I want to explain the funda of widows and orphans. Now these are widows, you know, where only one line of the paragraph is kind of coming in there and the rest is here. So in this particular case, what one can do is that the paragraphs, 2-3 paragraphs before that, we are going to come here and we are going to use kerning. So you come here, text, come into text and just increase this particular thing slightly. See, in 2 clicks it kind of goes only by 10% kerning, right? So only in doing 10% kerning our problem of that widow and orphan is solved. So you select a particular amount of paragraphs and you just do that much, it will take care of it. So you just, that is important. Now if we see, you know, there is a lot of gaps over here. So what we do, we select all. When we do Control A, in the first one, you see, you keep pressing down, it will keep going ahead. You see that? So I am just pressing shift and down and my whole work is done. Now in this particular scenario, what I want to do is that I know is going to be left aligned. I say full force justify. So what happens is that here I have a nice tight end and therefore my paragraphs are not cutting in a very weird way. So that is what you need to do first before you start working on widows and things like that. If you realize this, yep, I am Pinocchio, your boy. Yes, yep, I am Pinocchio, your boy. This line was in this paragraph. Okay, on this page, I would say. It moved ahead. So taking that into consideration, this is your way of doing it. Now let's say that this was not my start of the page. Okay, my start of the page always has to be from the right hand side of the book, and in the right hand side of the book we want to keep something very different. So let's say we move these a little further. We zoom out. And this is my first page. Okay, so now I have done this because now I want to start creating a drama in this. So I want to create a sink area. Okay, so what is the sink area? In this particular thing, it is going to be this way. You see this? So my paragraph story I want starting from here, and I want this. So we take this only and we give it a large point size. Let's say 36. We keep it here, and then here we create an image or something like that, which has to fall within your 6.5 range. So again you need to duplicate this, make it for tab 6.5, yes, and you make sure that you know whatever you're doing is within that bracket. So now let's put an image. So we put this image. These images again are by Emma Leeper, who is the illustrator on the website we are taking from. Okay, so this is how you are going to put that image. Now my story starts this way. So this creates a greater interest in the mind of children. So this again, let's be very fixed about this. So much text and you know this kind of an imagery works well with children who are kind of a particular age. I understand I've taken Pinocchio, which is the story of some very small age group of children, but let's assume this book is for Lord of the Rings or Witcher has everything with a new emblem. Game of Thrones has every chapter with a new emblem. So that emblem has to come there. So let this be the space for the new emblem and this be creating a puppet. And then as we go ahead, this page will obviously come here, you know. So this is our page 2, this is our page 1. So 1, 2, then 3 following with the creating a puppet again on top and going ahead. So this is when you introduce this. So this what we did here is creating a sink. So this area on top is the sink. And now let's create good leads. So here we select this letter and we increase the point size to 20. Okay, so this is how we can work around this. Okay, so you start with long time ago in Italy. So that's how you create a drama at the start of every paragraph. What we are doing here is called a drop cap, where suddenly the start of the whole thing is a long letter itself. Or else what can be done, that you just select this much and you shift it by these many inches, right? So we shift everything by 0.3 inches and just put an additional L here. So this is the second way of doing it in the same font. Please make sure that it's in the same font. This is Garamond, this also has to be Garamond, and then we come here and align it to the text box, right? Slightly lower because the text starts from here, yeah. And then again coming here, you select this first paragraph and reduce the tick. Yeah, this is 0.2 is perfect, right? And try and make this, if this is such a small paragraph, make it big also if you want. It's fine, but it should not look really bad. So that calculation is very important. You can play around with this and then see how it looks. It's better. Let's play around with this. Yeah, 0.4. Okay. Now what you do is zoom out and see how this looks. If it looks fine to you, very good. Now why we could actually use the whole paragraph here? The simple reason being that most of the paragraphs are not more than 3 lines. They are small dialogues because it's for a child. Okay, but for an adult, those paragraphs could, for a novel or something like that, those paragraphs could be very long. So for that, this one might not work, right? We might have to work with something like this. Okay, just something like this also is fine for something that is heavy in text, and you know, you can't confine your lead alphabet to the whole place. So saying that into consideration, our pagination, our sync, our guide, our baselines, everything is complete, right? And even connecting the text. So this is the thing. Now in this, the fonts that are normally used for any kind of a, this is Garamond, Baskerville, Gaudy, Times New Roman, and sometimes what they do just to create a particular drama, this instead of it being in Gaudy, it would be in Verdana. Okay, so these fonts would be in Verdana just to show that they are something different than the actual text. So that differentiation also is done by many people. Now this is what we are going to be doing for creating a book. Now let's understand that, you know, this is not just a simple book. Now we take it one step further. This is not just a simple book. It is something that like an encyclopedia kind of thing that gives you information or added information within a story, or kind of has some very difficult languages, or has some complex characters where they want to refer to, you know, what is let's say what is an elf. In some story there is an elf. So what is an elf? In this story, what is a puppet? So if children you want to give that additional information, that what is a puppet. So how are you going to do it? Over here, you on this page, let's say on the second page, okay, we could make another text box here, which would be something like this. Give it rounded corners. We have to lock this and make it at 0.2, so it's rounded throughout. And what you do before you start typing anything is take this and put this till here. Now what is this? This is kind of a call out box, or you know, something interesting. So if this is 4 by 1.07, let's give it a fixed size. Okay, we make it our 4 only. Let's not go outer than that. Okay, and this is 0.2, and then we again center align it to the box. Duplicate this, make this 3.8 and 0.8. Got it? And we align it to this. Okay, now in this you put your text here. See, your direct text should come, and you say puppet is a wooden, you know, whatever. Just giving you an example. Okay, and again make sure that this is also of the same point type. Okay, Garamond 10. This has to be Garamond 10. Garamond 10, but you have an option of making it italic, right? So you are giving information about a puppet. Now if this is too big, what we do, we reduce this. So now you know that this is the space that I need. Okay, and therefore increase this. So that's about it, and that is how we add some more things to our book. Now this is what we call, or what we have done is purely for publication books. Okay, what if, you would obviously ask me, what if I am creating a brochure? Now in the brochure also very similar fundas follow, right? So this is how you create your book, and obviously your cut marks are going to be coming here. You know, you should just have a center fold mark right in the middle. Your gutter is included, and cut marks this way, center fold, cut mark. That's it. Okay, so that's how you are going to be using your book. Now when it comes to brochures, I shall show you some brochures that I have done in the past for different clients, and we will take into consideration all these different elements which also apply to a brochure. This, as you can see, this is my cover. This is my first inner page. So here I have kept the gutter, and this is okay if it got cut. But if you see, this is the final cut size. There is obviously a bleed that has to be there outside. So 0.25 bleed on all sides has to be there. This is my final brochure. So that's how the thing is designed. So in the center also, even though it's overlapping in this particular thing and this might get folded, it's fine. It's better to keep this point to point, keeping our thing. My brochure, actual brochure size is here and here. You know, this page here and this page here. So you can take that. Monash exhibition brochure. In this, if you see, my callouts, the one that we made in that previous one, are in the corner, and all my text goes this way. Can you see? So these are my callouts, and therefore my text also is overlapping with the fold. Why? Because it's more over a front back kind of a thing, and my whole flow of images go with the text. So this is for a 2-page Mumbai International Boat Show. This is what I've done for Hanmer and Partners. So here, as you can see, my callouts are this way. So they are a substitute to an image, or this way. Now this again is when we have a lot of text. Now this is a big page. Okay, this brochure is an A4 size thing. What books we have is an A5, so it's half the size of A4. Now because it's so big, what I have done is to increase the readability and reduce the fatigue of the eye, that has to go with the text. I have created 2 different grids in this, right? So over here also I have added drama by putting this in the middle. You see that it's consistently there, where certain important points and things like that are highlighted in black. So you keep that as a synergy, and we work around that. Now the last thing is a skating book. Again, this is a coffee table book and talking about skating, right? As you can see, this is how it's designed. And as we move, I have used my top area, which is supposed to be my sink, and other things simultaneously. Now this is how I've creatively done my index. And if you see further, my colors of every page or every part of the index are also going to follow in the same way. This is how I've done my index. So you could be really creative with coffee table books or things of your type, and that's about it. As you can see, we start with yellow, that is roller skating, and starts from page 4. So the yellow is used, and the others are dim. So you know that you are on the yellow part, so the yellow will be longer. That's how I've done my coffee table book, and it all goes ahead in the same way. So then I've used the term duels. Now these I could very easily put 1111 box, yellow box here, kind of thing, just to show all these terms used in the end. But I have chosen to put it at the end also, so this is also an option. This, now the yellow is subdued and the red is highlighted. So the yellow falls and the red is highlighted. The terms used again, and then ice hockey, and so on and so forth. So my friends, if you like this and if you think it was of good value to you, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to share, because the more you share, the more you learn. Thank you.